You're watching Palm TV, and this is Patrick Palmi, your favorite host, talking about digital hustle. If you want to be a digital hustler and learn more about how you can turn your following into real money, tune in every Thursday, 11 a.m. on Palm TV.
Palm TV, your #1 social media TV network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Digital Hustler. And again and again and again, we are here every Thursday, 11 a.m. to have a fantastic conversation with you guys. It's always an amazing pleasure to have you with us on the screens, wherever you're watching us from. You know, whether you are watching on LinkedIn, you're watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, or even in the taxi ranks, wherever you guys are watching us. Hello to everybody, and thank you very much for tuning into the Digital Hustler. I'm your host, Patrick Palmi, and as you know, every Thursday, we want to get you to get to a point where your digital hustle is to the next level. And you know, we can go on and on and on and on, but we have to bring you guys that are gonna get you that extra push to get you to become a digital hustler like us. Today, we got an amazing gentleman. Adi's joining us in studio today from Virtual Actuary, and we're gonna talk about this mega gig economy. Today, you are looking for a job, you are hustling, and you know, you're pushing out CVs out there. And I always tell you, this device here, this one here, can change your world. You literally can change the entire game by just becoming a proper digital person that understands how to build your credibility online, how to build a profile online to become credible for your next gig. As simple as that. Adi, thank you for joining me in studio. It's such a great pleasure having you with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I always love Johannesburg, and I always love the sort of like big taste, the big buildings, the office parks, the you know, commerce.
Yeah.
So here we are. I made the trip, and I'm happy to be here, and we're going to share some insights.
Indeed.
Try to inspire people to get off the couch with that little device in their pocket.
Indeed. Actually, guys, you know, Adi flew from Cape Town. Guys, hey, Cape Townian! Amazing! Flew all the way from Cape Town to come right here in Joburg at Palm TV Studios. Oh man, Adi, I feel humbled, I feel loved, and I can't believe that, you know, you flew all the way to actually be with us in the studio. Folks, we told you that we're gonna get you the best in the industry, and today we're talking mega gig economy. But your story first, Adi, is impressive. I mean, we're talking offline, folks. This guy has built an 85 million rand business.
89
million rand business. I want to get that to dollar though.
Yeah.
I mean, building it based on the mega gig economy. But let's talk about that.
In 3 years, yeah.
In 3 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing, folks. But how did you get there first?
So I think the most important thing is that we have a business of actuaries who consult.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, whatever you do, whatever your gig is, whatever your skill is, there are clients that want to buy your service. Whoever it is, they want to buy your service.
Correct.
And so you need to understand that, and you need to put the service together. So we put the service together.
Yeah.
So once we put the service together, we needed to then make that service available to overseas people, to clients, to local clients, to overseas clients.
But you must have been a very inspired man. Come on, did you lie down your bed and dream one day of building an 89 million rand business?
So, yeah, I think the thing that you aim for is to get the credit card companies to stop phoning you. If you can get the credit
Tell me about that.
You know, like, let's try and make some money and get them off your back. So how are we going to do that? So if you bring together the right people, and you can offer a good service, and you can offer that service to the clients, and they can actually buy the service and pay you. So that was always the goal. You know, one hopes to build a business that is successful, but if you can, you know, I always say that if you're not in debt, you're a millionaire.
Correct.
So we've done okay. So we're not in debt. We got a nice business on our hands, and so now obviously once we've got that covered, now we obviously try to take it to the next level as a sort of in the gig economy. So yeah, that's our business.
And let's talk about this gig economy business of ours. I mean, you know, my personal belief is that my children will probably not want to be in the job space. they probably want to own their own little gigs. But now we're talking mega gig economy. What it really means, in my opinion, and please you'll share your version of this, is that jobs are going to be broken down into pieces of expertise. And you will be an expert only in creation of this magia. Someone else is going to be an expert in putting that little, hot there. And it's going to be from desk to desk. What is your opinion about this whole gig economy first, before we go into the mega gig economy?
So the first thing is that we need to work.
Wow, we need to work.
I think it's when it comes to millennials and do they actually want to work?
Yeah.
So the first thing is we all have to work.
Yeah.
We're not going to be getting free money. We're not going to be getting free anything. So now that we understand we have to work during the day, is how are you going to get the work? Are you going to go look for a job as an employee and get a salary? Or are you going to be a freelance professional with a skill that's going to fit into the gig economy?
That's it. That's it.
And so then you have to now try and find work through gig economy platforms.
Correct.
The Uber drivers or the Bolt drivers, that's a great example. They're not employees, they have the ability to do work and they put themselves out in the gig economy. So the key really is everyone's going to work. So are you going to work as an employee going forward, or are you going to rather be a freelancer and say, well, hold on a second, I can do the same thing and still get paid.
Correct.
Who's going to pay me?
But isn't that scary for young people, folks? I mean, y'all guys are watching us. Isn't that scary that now they have to rely on themselves, and they previously used to rely on, let me get a job first to earn a living. Now I got to depend fully on myself to kind of build my own portfolio to become a small business of myself. I mean, typical case of an Uber driver, he's the owner of himself. So
a great example is if we look at influencers on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, you're an influencer.
Yeah. Oh, am I an influencer?
You know the influencer handshake, the secret influencer handshake.
Indeed.
Oh, there we go. So if people look at the influencers as like amazing and they are creating the content, they are the ones doing the work, they are working.
Correct.
And then people buy into that, and then somewhere along the line the advertisers they get paid.
Correct.
So you want to be an influencer in your department. So if you run a marketing department, or you run a social media department, or you run a design department, whatever work you are doing as an employee, you want to come across as the best in your team.
Correct.
So that you can be, let's say, the manager, the influencer manager in your team as an employee.
Correct.
So anybody who's a manager is an influencer in their own business. They're just an employee that's an influencer. So the same is true, that you want to be the best at your craft or fantastic at your craft and be able to try and make money from your craft. So it's either that you're going to get paid from the company, or you're going to get paid from consumers who want to buy your services on an ad hoc basis.
So true.
It's not like a guaranteed salary where every day you go in and you know this is what you're going to do, but rather you don't know what you're going to do, but you need to make yourself available. So it's definitely the scary approach. But if you look at how successful influencers have become,
correct.
If you get it right, I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah, nothing is easy, by the way, folks. Nothing is easy.
It's not simple. It's not simple. But if you can understand the mechanics and get it right, then you can do very, very well.
We have a question from Kerry Love. Do you think that we are moving into a world where everyone is self-employed? Is that possible?
So I don't think everybody, and I don't think we'll always get to a point where everybody drinks mineral water. Some people like to drink water from the tap store.
Correct.
But we all have to drink water. So some people will still be employees and some people will be self-employed. I think there'll be a nice blend of both.
That's actually amazing. And folks, if you guys are watching us from anywhere, please feel free to interact with us. By the way, you can call us in studio, have a conversation, ask questions. We're here to empower you to become a digital savvy person as well. We want the digital nation. We can't miss this opportunity to get into the digital vibe. Again, let's talk now about the mega economy, mega gig economy now. What do you mean by that?
So up until now, you get certain platforms, certain websites where if you're a designer, if you do telesales, if you're a salesperson, whatever you do, you would be able to go to that platform and people can book you. They can book you. Okay, so that's relatively organized, but it's one job at a time.
Correct.
Okay, so let's say you said instead of getting one job at a time, and I'm only going to do that one job, I actually want to get together with 5 designers. I want to get together with 5 editors, and we are going to make ourselves available as a consortium of gig economy editors.
I see.
And we're going to build up that credibility that the quality of our consortium of gig economy editors is so high that we are a company.
So you're building a team of editors together, and you build a consortium of editors that are in the gig economy, but together as a business.
Yeah, and they're organized. They have
organized.
Now they have a brand.
Sure.
And anybody in the industry, in corporation that wants to hire editors will go to them instead of an editing company.
Correct.
But the difference is that in an editing company, the editors are salaried employees.
Correct.
Whereas at this consortium, which is a company and the quality is right and governed, is that all the editors are commission earning. So only when the client books the team and they work, and only those that work in the project, they get paid when the client pays.
I can feel someone is asking, is it safe for me to get into that vision of, a consortium of creatives? Is it safe? Am I going to be able to pay my house and pay my bills being part of a consortium? Don't you have to get that vehicle to run fast enough for me to be safe enough to pay my bills?
So when you go for a job, it's a great question, because when you go for a job, the company says, we'll pay you for the next year. So there's your safety net.
Correct.
Okay. So let's say a consortium comes to you and says, we want you to join our consortium. So then it's like, well, is there going to be enough work?
Correct.
But let's say they say to you right from the start, we have a piece of work available to you. We'll book you for the next year. Here's a contract. For the next year, you're a commission earning contractor, but it's a guaranteed for the next year. Then your safety net is there.
Correct.
So it's about that consortium being able to bring work in so that those who want to join feel safe that for at least the next year there's ongoing work.
And look, I mean, you're talking from a space where Adi has built an 89 million rand business based on these principles. I mean, someone is making it work. I mean, to me, that's amazing. I think the biggest problem that I can sense in the audience is, am I safe enough? The answer is, are you safe enough at your workplace? If you're not, you better become a brand yourself. You better build your brand and personality. And maybe we'll talk about your digital identity to become a credible source. You basically want to be the best of the best in your craft. Let's talk about your digital identity today. I mean, Eddie and I met online, folks, and we are here. That means there is a personality that we gotta build that makes us credible enough to be in business. And do you think the younger generation today are doing it well or not?
So I think some are doing it well and some are not.
Correct.
The key word here is your shop window. What is your shop window? What is your online shop window? So when you go and you want to buy from a particular business, you'll go to their website,
correct,
their big building,
correct,
big signage. The credibility factor is there that if you buy from this big business, it looks like
it's genuine, it's good.
It's genuine. You're going to get the quality that you expect.
Yeah.
So if you can take your shop window as a professional, editor is a great example. It's just easier, it's simpler. And people go to your online portfolio, your online website, your online LinkedIn profile, your online Instagram portfolio, your online Pinterest. And they go, look at this person's portfolio. It's not copy and paste, it's the real. There they are standing in front of this client. It's the real deal.
It's the real deal.
And if people go to your online portfolio and they see it's the real deal, I don't believe they're going to mind that they're buying from you and your portfolio.
Correct.
Instead of a company in the portfolio. And look at all the references. Wow, this company, that company, all these references. So the credibility of the online portfolio of this gig economy professional is through the roof. So you believe if you buy from them, you're not going to get ripped off.
Correct.
Your friend bought from them, you're going to buy from them.
I like that. Folks, we're going to take a quick ad break, but remember, build your profile. Folks, listen, and I think we've been consistent in saying this, you know, we want Africa to go to the next level, but young people, you guys have to build a profile that makes us want to be in business with you guys. And this is about your digital profile, your credibility online. Put up your work. Make sure that your work is there and it's credible and people want to be with you. And we can then turn this whole economy around. So let's quickly take a break, and when we're back, we're gonna carry on with the conversation. See you now. Guys, you're watching Palm TV, and this is Patrick Palmi, your favorite host, talking about digital hustle. If you want to be a digital hustler and learn more about how you can turn your following into real money, tune in every Thursday, 11 a.m. on Palm TV.
Palm TV, your #1 social media TV network.
Everyone, and we appreciate you watching the Digital Hustler on Palm TV. And as you know, we really want to make sure that you are learning new trades of digital. The world is going virtual, by the way, folks. I mean, I don't know if you realize that the global pandemic is forcing every single one of us to think digital. Even the most traditionalist folks, guys that would never touch, a computer, never even jump onto, social media platform. Matter of fact, my dad is now on Facebook as well, 75 years old, and he still rocks social media. And, that just tells you that the world is moving towards digital platform, and things like your digital identity is going to play a massive role on your next gig. And yes, you are looking for a job. Yes, you've probably lost your job during the pandemic and it's hectic for you. You're probably wondering, should I go get a gig or should I get an employment? That question is pretty natural. This show here is to tell you that you can start your own online business and still sell and still be, in a good state. And I've got for you someone incredible. Adi is here in studio to talk to us about, this whole mega gig economy. He's built an 85 million rand business that is all based on the gig economy. And I think in one of the most complex industry, I mean, actually business is it's not a job. It's not a joke job. It's a tough industry with big competitors, big players. I mean, it's a space for only the multinationals, and Adi has been able to build something in that ecosystem. So, let's talk about, what would be the 5 best advices that we want to give to all our viewers that are actually watching us live right now. Karabo, thank you very much for asking questions. We're going to come back to your question shortly, Karabo. But what would be our first 5 top advices that we want to give to people that want to get into this gig economy with your experience? What is the very first one?
So I don't remember what we wrote down there. Can I take my piece of paper?
If you can read this,
let me see, So I can't see what's written there. So this is the thing. The first thing I want to say is that in any industry that you're going into, the first thing is that you have to be an expert in that industry.
Correct.
And I brought together, in my opinion, what we call the best of breed actuaries in our industry into our business. So Virtual Actuary represents best of breed actuaries.
Lovely.
With unbelievable experience. So what that does as a startup is, it doesn't mean that the startup starts from ground zero, but rather the credibility and the experience and the professionalism of the actuaries that form part of Virtual Actuary is the only reason that when we say to the clients we can do work, and the clients say, okay, let's sit at the table, who's in the meeting, and they look at the experience of our actuaries, they agree with us
that they are the best in the industry.
Best of breed, and the quality of the experience is unbelievable. And so we do a proposal and they take on the work, and then the quality of the delivery is unbelievable. So
actually, this to me is really appealing. So I gotta be an expert.
There we go.
Wow.
So if you want to being in the gig economy and the mega gig economy, you have to bring together quality experts that are able to now go and look for overseas clients. That's like your first starting point. Anything less than that, and you're actually fooling yourself, because the clients they won't be fooled. If people are going to spend their money, especially in like such a risky industry,
Correct.
like the quality of our delivery from an actuarial perspective has to be like the same quality as the big firms
Correct.
that they used to
the
buy
multinationals ones.
So if you can match that and you can bring those actuaries into the business, and that is who you move forward with as this like scrum, as this team, then the clients will buy. So I think the number one thing is the quality and the experience of those inside the consortium.
But does that also mean that now I have to, great work comes with experience, or either you are very much born with this skills of I am the best graphic designer ever. I am the best editor. I was born already with a computer right next to me that I can become the best, or else it will mean that you have to build a 10 years experience working for someone.
So what happens is if you want to just be a gig economy worker by yourself, then it's you and the quality of and your experience. You're not going to be a gig economy person that's going to be able to take on work coming straight out of university.
Correct.
In fact, I actually discourage it. I think it's more important for people to go get normal jobs for 15 years first, learn those mistakes, understand about business.
Correct.
And actually get experience before trying to become this like amazing gig economy person.
Correct.
So that's the first thing.
Correct.
And then ultimately the second thing is bringing together like-minded people that you can trust with the quality of your brand.
So build a team around you.
But a team that matches your quality of delivery.
Lovely.
Because if you just want to be a gig economy worker yourself, you're going to trust your quality. But if you're going to bring other people into your closed circle and say, we're going to go forward as a brand, as a mega gig economy, as an organized consortium, as a business of actuaries or as editors, you need to make sure that those that you bring in have a certain quality delivery. Because if they get it wrong,
then it's all packed up and gone, right?
Well, then the brand loses its credibility, and those big firms are not going to buy from you. You're Mickey Mouse. You're a joke.
But actually, we got a question from Karabo. How do I appeal to clients without a network or corporate experience? Is it better to get work experience first before I start my own business? I think we've already answered that, Karabo. We just answered your question right now. Thank you for tuning in and asking these questions. But not everybody is an entrepreneur. The gig economy to me feels that I gotta be an entrepreneur in my mind. Are we looking for everyone to become an entrepreneur, maybe?
It's such a brilliant point you're bringing up. So your experience as being an editor, your experience as being an actor, your experience as being a social media guru.
Correct.
Woo, guru. Okay. but in order for you to be a business, you need somebody who can do the sage accounting, the internet banking, the sales. So if I'm a salesperson and I'm not an actuary, I'm not an editor, I can do sage accounting, but I want to work in your consortium. The consortium is a business. Somebody has to play a part in that part of the business. And so you got to bring together the different units inside a business. But when the client pays, the person that does the sage accounting for that particular job will get 5,000 Rand. But the actuary or the editor will get 35. That's fair.
Correct.
So what happens is it's a pre-arranged agreement amongst the consortium that when the client pays on a particular job, everybody that was involved in the organized mega gig
cut out of it
gets their cut, but it's an equal cut according to what is fair. I don't get paid as much as the actuaries because I do the admin and the operational and some of the marketing. I don't even get close to what they get paid, but my cut or the business's cut is proportional and fair compared to our contribution to when that client pays for that particular job. And that's where it becomes organized.
I like that. Must I get a job and be in the gig economy as well?
No. So this is not a side hustle.
This is not a side hustle. I got to build that experience. I got to try first.
This is not a mom and pop shop. We're a professional business.
Yeah.
We have multinationals as clients. Everybody that works in our virtual Actuary consortium is full-time, dedicated, and blood, sweat and tears. This is not a side hustle.
I see.
Because what happens is, let's say the client falls in love with you, loves your work, and says, we want to roll out the business into Singapore. We want Sarah, we want Mpho to run the whole operation. Oh no, sorry. Mpho actually only is able to do 2 hours a day, and they're like, whoa, I thought you guys were a professional organization.
I see.
We want Mpho and Sarah and Hannes to work on this project. We want to either hire the big firm or we want to hire you. I thought you guys were a proper business.
I see.
So you got to be that proper business, dedicated, proper. So this is a full-time thing.
Lovely. Let's take the third advice. If I want to get into this gig economy, what would be your third advice?
You have to have the technology available to be able to plug in.
Lovely.
Because what I'm saying is that sometimes you need the office space or you want to meet people in person, but you're not going to meet them on the side of the road.
Very good point.
So
I can meet them at McDonald's.
You can meet them, or you can meet them at one of these shared office space locations.
Lovely.
So you have to have the ability to know where the shared office space is. You have to be able to have a computer that sends them the calendar invite with the location.
Correct.
If one of the partners involved can't make the meeting, you have to have the Zoom or the Google link or whatever. So you have to understand and have the technology available as a business to say, we're having a meeting, we're having a delivery, we have work that needs to be done. Can you plug into that ecosystem? So you have to have an amazing phone. You have to have uninterrupted internet connection. You have to understand how to get your Zoom and your microphone and all of that technology working. So knowledge and of the technology, but the actual technology itself is the only way that you're going to be able to plug in. Otherwise, you're going to have to go to a call center, you're going to have to work in a big office. What we're saying is you don't have to work in a big office. That's the whole point. So if you're not going to work in a big office, you have to have the same internet and equipment that used to only be available in the big
corporations
in your home. So
Lovely.
That's where it comes.
I think this is actually something massive. I remember my own story. I mean, when I started this whole journey, started straight from my house and never had all the infrastructure, but I had the vision. And what you're saying is completely right. I had to build, an entire system around me to kind of make it ready for the future. And consistency in doing it got us to where we are today. So definitely you're completely right with that third advice is put systems in place and don't be disorganized. If you believe in this vision that you have, go hard and build it, but start with the fundamental of how do you get your communication right, and where am I meeting my customer for that first deal? Even if it's a 5,000 rand deal, guys, come on, consider it as a deal. Don't just look at a R1 million deal and say, oh, you know what, I'm an artist and I want to be singing in a big concert, blah blah blah. Consider yourself as a business and build the ecosystem around yourself. Our fourth advice, what would that be?
So the fourth advice, and also just on that last topic, if you look at Elvis Presley, why did Elvis Presley become so successful globally? Is because he went on the road and did small gigs in small places for like the first year or two.
Correct.
So the small gigs are amazing because that's where you learn how to interact with the client. Correct. And it builds you. And so we would all hope to have the big deals, but actually the small deals are more important.
Exactly.
Okay, so the fourth piece of advice is understand and know, in my opinion, at least, that we are moving into the you as a brand world. And moving away from the corporate brand world. That's what I would say.
So I am a brand.
You are the brand.
So no more this multinational big brand is the brand. Patrick is a brand.
So I didn't even know what the name of this business was called at all.
Did you hear that?
I didn't know. I just know Patrick does the most unbelievable social digital show that I've seen.
Thank you.
Emojis. I hope there's a lot of emojis floating around now. I came for the emojis. And the emoji mug. So I didn't know what the company was called.
Lovely.
But I knew that Patrick did the show and the production. I bought into Patrick, the brand.
I see.
And I knew that when I come to Patrick's studio, it makes sense to me that Patrick has all the people that do the editing and the sound and the stage lighting. I didn't have to go and look at your company details and say, well, who runs the production? I trusted the Patrick brand. That if I buy into the Patrick brand, the production will be of a certain quality.
Correct.
I just knew that everything else would be right. And that is why you've built your brand, because it goes without saying that if you buy from you as the brand, if you buy as Virtual Actuary from Virtual Actuary, you know that the quality of delivery is guaranteed because you bought into the brand of the Actuary.
Guys, are you hearing that? You have to build your brand. I mean, this is amazing for me. I mean, and online, and I'm being serious, folks. I mean, online you can build a presence, but you're gonna have to build your credibility. You gotta be, some people are actually shy to put content online, and I'm like, no, go ahead, put your content. Put it out there. People want to interact with you. Today, we can't even meet physically sometimes. No, actually, we can't meet physically a lot of times. So we're meeting virtually, and y'all guys are engaging with us. You're watching the show. I can see all of you guys. So build your profile and really stay consistent. And our last advice?
The last piece of advice is that for you to build your startup. So once you've got work experience, you've got the work experience, you've worked, you now want to be a business owner. As I said, I would discourage it if you're in your 20s, rather do it in your 30s, because chances are you're going to make a fundamental mistake in your 20s, and your dream of being a business owner, you're going to get into debt and so on. So the last piece of advice is that in order to actually start your business, you don't need an investor.
Oh, wow. York said that last time as well.
Okay. Lovely guy. So, shout out to York, lovely guy. And he's right. Because when you bring in an investor, they're going to do two things. They're going to give you money to pay the salaries and the rent, and then you got that like cushion. But then the second thing they're going to say is, all right, almost in that like first meeting, how are we going to get paying clients?
That's it.
So so that we can make a profit, so that they can get 10 times their money back. What they've invested. So why do you need an investor to say to you, okay, how are we going to get clients?
Correct.
Rather tell yourself that. Okay, let's build this business. How are we going to get clients? If we need editors, if we need production people, if we need actuaries, aren't there any actuaries, editors, production people that if I bring work in and they need to do the work, they'll get paid when we get paid.
That's it.
So go get the clients.
Go get the clients.
Go get the clients that can pay. And then once you get that momentum, you've got now 5, 10, 15, 20 clients, then you can go get the investor.
Oh, we got a caller. Oh, fantastic. We love callers. By the way, wow, we got a caller. What's up? Hey, he's got the same hat as I have. Amazing. What's up? How you doing?
Hi, Adi.
Hello, Johan. This is actually my business partner, Johan.
Hey, Johan, how you doing? Good to have you on the show, man.
Johan is one of the most business astute actuaries in South Africa.
Lovely.
He has the hat. He is the co-CEO.
Oh, wow.
And we actually both bought motorbike. I bought the motorbike, the YZ.
Yeah.
We actually bought one last week.
Okay.
So we are not only credible business astute actuaries, well, he's the actuary, but also have the ability to get on an off-road 250 YZ and hit that power band. So, Johan, what do you have to say?
I just wanted to say, I love the show. It's been very interesting.
Thank you.
I actually think
your connection.
I dropped off.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you well at one point, but yeah, carry on.
Just one question for Adi before I have to drop off. Can you please explain what you do on the weekend and why that is so important to you?
The what? Well, just explain what?
The question is, can you please explain what you do on the weekend?
What I do on the weekends. So
That's a good one, Johan. That's a very good one.
The reason he's asking that is because what I used to do on the weekends just work my ass off, okay? And we built up the business. So now that now that we actually have a little bit of a breather, because we're now 4 years in, after 10 years of working my ass off,
hard. Yeah.
So now what we do on the weekends is we put on all of our safety gear.
Yeah.
And our knee braces.
Yeah.
And our neck braces and our helmets. And we get on our YZ250s.
And then
and we go in the forest and we ride our bikes.
That's the result of hard work.
Yeah, no. You see, what it's about is about having the guts.
Correct.
To take on Johan. Awesome.
Take care, Johan. Take care.
What he's talking about is having the guts. Earlier you were talking about, are you going to go find a job? Are you going to be a gig economy person? My question to you is, do you have what it takes? Do you have the guts?
Correct.
To take on the big corporations?
Correct.
That were the only ones able to provide the service before. If you're going to form this consortium, can you be the big corporation?
That's it.
Do you have the guts for the success? And if you have the guts, then potentially you also have the guts to get on a YZ250.
And enjoy life after hard work. Thank you, everyone. I think, someone is asking, where can you get a hat? They all want to get a hat. It's not for sale, boy. You gotta work for it. You guys gotta build consortium, build businesses. Look, I'm dying to see more young Africans building consortium. Getting together. If you're a bunch of accountant, do something together. If you're a bunch of editors, do something together. Build something. The future is going to be the gig economy, and Adi has built an 89 million rand business with that principle. So it is definitely possible.
I think it is possible. I think the best take home is what you've mentioned. We are the African story.
Correct.
We are Africa. We live in Africa. We represent the African mind.
That's it.
And the African ability.
Correct.
And so we must take this ability, we must take this knowledge and experience, and we must go into the global world. And we must take them on as clients. We must earn money. We must export the skills of the African people.
Exactly.
And so that's what it's about.
And that's what I'm dying for. Folks, it's been a great pleasure. Adi, thank you for flying down all the way from Cape Town to Joburg. And for all of you guys watching us at home, it's been a great pleasure. I hope that you've picked all the 5 lessons we shared in the show. We hope to see you again next week. Don't forget, you can build your business today by, taking those lessons and really build a gig economy of yourself, a mega gig consortium that can turn, the continent around. And it's been a great pleasure having you with us. It's a Thursday, and next week, Thursday, again, we're going to be together. Don't forget to tune in every Thursday on Digital Hustler and get some incredible insight on how you can become a digital hustler just like us. You take care, Adi. It's been a great pleasure having you with us.
Awesome. Thank you.
All the way. Take care. Cheers.
Hey everybody, my name is Jörg Zucki, and catch a Digital Hustler on Palm TV every Thursday at 11 o'clock.
Palm TV, your #1 social media TV network. Palm TV, your #1 social media TV network.